Hello everybody, and welcome, I guess I should say, to the first review of the year, technically. I guess I'm going to be doing one review tonight. I'm kind of glad I don't have to do two of these things. We're only doing AEW tonight because NXT was basically an end of the year clip show and award thing. I don't really have nothing to speak on that, so I'm not going to be reviewing that show tonight, just to give a heads up. But we will be doing a AEW review tonight, as we are doing right now. Welcome to the, I guess, first review of the year, if you want to go with that. Like I said, it's just another review of the day for me. I don't give a shit about New Year's in general, honestly, but hey, I'm sure a lot of other people do. It's just another day in the life, but hey, make sure you check out my end of the year review that is posted up online right now. Me and my buddy Kyle did it. We spent 4.5 hours doing it. Please check out that review. The Wrestling in 2019 review, please check it out. But we are here for AEW tonight. Basically, this is the 1 year anniversary of AEW. AEW was announced 1 year ago on January the 1st on YouTube. When you remember, they all stood out in front of the Tokyo Dome, pretty much had the logo for it, and Double or Nothing thing, and that's what began this entire thing from last year around this time. So, the 1 year anniversary of YouTube, not YouTube, but the 1 year anniversary of AEW being announced and everything, and now here we are today, as they were in Jacksonville, Florida, at the Daly's place, where they were at if you remember, the Fight for the Fallen show. I believe it was a sold-out crowd out there. I like that venue. It's a pretty good venue. I know it looks like a theater at one point, some points and whatnot, but it's a very good venue, though, even from what I saw back at last time when they were there. But they were back in Jacksonville, Florida. We had Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Taz on commentary this week. Very good. It's always fun to hear Taz. I like Taz. Tony Schiavone was not here this week due to, I believe, Georgia Bulldog duties. So we had Taz on commentary tonight. And who do we kick off the show with? We kick off the show with Cody Rhodes versus Darby Allin. Cody Rhodes still had Arn Anderson with him earlier in the week. I believe that he's the special enforcer, or his head coach now, they said. I know a lot of people said it was like a storyline thing, because it's kind of odd that the son of Dusty Rhodes has hired one of his father's biggest rivals of the Four Horsemen and everything. Kind of his coach and whatnot. And he went against Darby Allin, which I don't know who this dude Darby Allin came out with. I think he was from some band or something. I don't know, man. The dude took off a mask, and he had another mask on, and then he left with his skateboard, so he couldn't really skateboard down to the ring this time, but I don't know who he brought out with him. I was surprised to see this match again, honestly. One is just kind of, okay, then these guys team up like about a week or two ago to face the Butcher, the Baker, and the Candlestick Maker, and they had a match back many months ago back at Fyter Fest also. But this was a good match between Allin and Cody. At least this wasn't like Cody kicking the living dog shit out of him last time, what they did at Fyter Fest. And this was good too. I will say that coffin drop is still deadly. It looked like Allin nearly kills himself half the time doing that move. But this was a very enjoyable match. Ate up a bit of time, I'll say that, but a very good match in general. Darby Allin was out there. Well, one thing, Cody Rhodes did a crossroads, nearly spiked Allin's head to the ground. Looked pretty deadly, I will say that. But Allin then kicked out. Allin was going for the coffin drop from the top rope, but Arn Anderson got on the ropes. Pretty much telling Cody to put his knees up. He didn't get involved in the match. He just coached Cody, like, put your knees up. Basically dodging the coffin drop, countering it, and ended up pinning Darby Allin in general. They pretty much showed Anderson and Cody in the ring. I don't really know why they have Cody, like I said before, with Arn Anderson. I guess, I don't know, is this going to lead to him turning on Cody? I don't know. I know they've hired Arn Anderson. I know he works there and everything, but I guess something is coming from this. I don't know what, but I guess we'll find out and see. But it's nothing really much that really happened after that, because they moved on to the next segment. Who was it? Joey Janela. I could give two shits about him. I don't know. He was about to, I guess they're asking what his plans were until Penelope Ford ended up hitting him in the nuts, and Kip Sabian showed up. I guess she's not with him anymore. I didn't really know what all that was about. I just it's just kind of odd that Penelope Ford ended up showing up with Sabian then, but I guess she broke up with Janela. I don't know the whole story behind that, but I just know she ended up hitting him with a low blow. I guess that's a feud or something. We'll see what comes from that, but I really give a shit what Janela does in general. But next, moving on though. And next, we had the Fatal 4-Way Women's title match. Rio, Nyla Rose, Hikaru Shida, and Britt Baker. 2 out of the 4 of these women can work. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy to what was going on here. It was supposed to be Chris Statlander that was supposed to have the title shot, but due to prior obligations, I believe it was I think they were Bar Wrestling or something, that she had commitments to them that she could not do the match this week, and she couldn't do the match. She couldn't do the match this week, so they gotta wait till next week. I saw it got a lot of flack online behind that. But yes, I believe she got a lot of flack, or the company got a lot of flack about it, because listen, I don't really know how this, because I know AEW, they the ones that posted it themselves that this was going to be a match change and everything, but I think a lot of people looked at it like, what is more important, doing this indie show or doing probably the biggest title match of your entire career? Because I think to what I read, she had a match with Joey Ryan, I guess, which I know it's a little bit more important than the Joey Ryan match, of course, if that's true. But, it's the title match itself. But I just knew the company got a lot of flack for that, because I think a lot of people just kind of saw it. And I really tried to, think this out all the way, though, to where this went. But, I think maybe they should just kind of gone with this match and doing this Fatal 4-Way from out of nowhere. Because whoever wins the Fatal 4-Way then, they would face Chris Statlander next week for the title, which I figured he was going to win in general regardless. The match itself, this wasn't a bad match with the women, I'll say that. This is probably a better one, maybe because who was involved. Hikaru Shida's good, so she can make anything work. They're trying to make Nyla Rose look like more of a monster. I just don't think Nyla Rose is that good, but they're trying to make her more into a monster out there. I think this was a better match. I just think, given who was somewhat involved, I still don't think Britt Baker is good. I know they had what did they have? They had Nyla Rose attack Rio before the match and everything, because she attacked her before, used the title belt. Hikaru Shida used her kendo stick she came out with and start beating Nyla Rose with. Now, there were a couple good spots out there. I did like the senton, Rose did. I think was it on Shida or Baker through the table outside. I know a lot of people, they all started hitting their finishers on Nyla Rose at one point. I think Hikaru got a mid-chunkle driver on her, but it was a kick out then. Rio trying to do the double stomps on her, and then doing another double stomp on Nyla Rose and a Shining Wizard, which just still didn't go out well either, which she still kicked out at 2. Britt Baker was able to get the lockjaw on Hikaru Shida, but she reversed it to a pinfall then, but Rio pretty much came from out of nowhere and pretty much rolled up Baker for the pinfall. Like I said, this was a better women's match. I'm trying to go out some of the spots that were good in this. I expected Baker or Nyla Rose to take the pinfall. Hikaru Shida is too good. I don't think they wanted her taking the pinfall in general. So I can see why Baker took this fall. In a way, so I kind of expected it. Next thing you know, they had Nyla Rose attack Rio right after the match, then power bombing her, and then pretty much put her on the table, and she did a big splash on her. So I guess they want to keep Nyla Rose somewhat near in the title picture in a way. Because honestly, after what happened in the last match, and Nyla Rose hasn't really been on TV since the whole, suspension thing that went down. Because I remember the first time I saw the match, I didn't think the match was that good with her and Rhea. I think the crowd is what saved that match. So, like I said, the women's division, they just still have a lot of work to do with that. I think this was a somewhat better women's match. I think maybe because it was a scramble, it was Fatal 4-Way. Maybe it just kind of left more out there that was pretty good. But they still have a lot of work to do with it. Because I just don't think the women's division is that good. I just think it's still not working. It honestly isn't. I don't know. Even listen to the reactions. I don't know how I don't know if all these women are really over like that. I really believe what I'm saying about that. Okay? But Riho retains the title. I expected that to happen. I didn't think she was losing it in general. So she will face Kris Statlander next week. But I guess they still want to keep Nyla Rose somewhat in the loop of out of all this. They played another Dark Order package, which, holy shit, how bad that segment was. Hey, listen, let me say this right here, because I know somebody said this. Listen, all right? Because, listen, that whole Dark Order shit they did, it's still horrible, okay? It was very horrible what happened a couple weeks ago. I'm not giving that no chance, okay? I'm not going to ease up on them. And it's like I said in my Raw review, okay? Like how I shit on that wedding they did on Monday. And I put that Dark Order segment in that same sentence. Give it the same energy. I'm giving both the same energy, okay? They were both equally horrible. All right? So I'm not playing no favorites with either show. Give the same goddamn energy about it, okay? Cuz that's what I did. So I did not, play favorites when doing that Dark Order bullshit they put on. And I guess they said they're going to have a leader or something, the Exalted Leader, since they beat up the Elite. We'll see what comes from this. I've tried giving the Dark Order a chance, but I'm just still not down with this all the way. I'm really not. It's still shit to me, but I guess we'll see what comes from this, because they're really trying to get them over. Okay, they are really trying to get them over, because I can sit here all day and make fun of the invisible punching and whatnot, but I guess we'll see what happens from this Exalted Leader. I don't know, man, because after what they did a few weeks ago, I don't think this gives anyone any promise of even caring about anything the Dark Order does right now. Okay, next though. Jon Moxley went against Trent Beretta. Of course, Orange Cassidy and Chucky T were out there. This was a good match for him and Trent. Actually, I didn't think this match was really going to go that long. In a way, I didn't think it was going to be a squash match or anything, but we already know what Jon Moxley's got to be this weekend, of course. I will say this was a very good match. The Orange Cassidy thing, which, at least he didn't... Well, he did the pockets thing, and I thought he was going to kick him, but Mox is like, I'll show you whose pockets, but Cassidy was a distraction for Trent to get his move on him. Mox still ended up hitting the Death Rider on the outside of the ring, and then, on the stage, and then hit another elevated Death Rider in the inside of the ring, so... he won the match from there. Next thing you know, Sami Guevara came from the crowd then, pretty much talking about Moxley's decision and whatnot, because he got a chair, and he says, I'm not here to fight and anything. We're just here to, wish you Happy New Year and everything, and your decision. What do you want to do, huh? And he says, we got a surprise for you. Right, Chris? Chris Jericho is on the screen then. I don't know if it was a pre-tape video or whatnot. But yes, Chris Jericho, he showed up on the screen. And he told all these factions are recruiting right now, alright? Everybody's doing this from, I'm not offering you a mask or anything. I'm not offering you to be a minion or something like that. I'm offering you a partnership, okay? To be the co-leader, in a way, of the Inner Circle. I want you to run it, alright? And you will get 49% of the Inner Circle. And he even offered him a Ford GT, which was right by him in front of the arena. With Mox's license plate on there. Pretty much, this is all made for you. Get the LLC. We can run AEW together, okay? All right, cause listen, come on, man. You can pull Cody's, pink tie out, out of his ass, or embarrass the Young Bucks or beat up Jungle Boy. You could do all of that, all right? They'll feel as stupid as as these idiots in Jacksonville. So, he looked forward to hearing him soon, basically, to make the right decision. Mox pretty much got on the microphone, which he kind of hesitate to talk, that he's considered Chris Jericho as a friend and mentor, so he would give him an answer, live in person, next week. So, we'll find out what's in store and everything. The crowd looked pretty kind of pissed, because I think they wanted an answer right now, because they basically said it was going to be an answer when they came back on TV, but there is no answer. Honestly, I was actually surprised to see Mox even in a match, or Jericho, which I believe was a pre-tape, because though both of these guys got to be at Wrestle Kingdom this Saturday and Sunday during the weekend in Japan, so I'm sure they both took a flight as soon as the show ended, or Mox finally took a flight as soon as his match ended. Is on his way to Japan right now, which is kind of weird because during that show or at the end of the show or whatnot on YouTube, I guess Lance Archer put out a promo video about the Texas Death Match this Saturday, I believe, or Sunday. I'm still trying to get the Wrestle Kingdom schedule out. Alright, because January the 4th is on a Saturday, but technically it would play late Friday night here in the States, because in Japan it would probably start at different, of course it starts at a different time. So in America it would probably start at like 2, 3 a.m. on a Friday, if I'm not mistaken, and then the next day on Saturday will be the second night of Wrestle Kingdom. All right, so listen, I'm still, there will be more details to come on how this is going to work. Okay, I will do Wrestle Kingdom reviews. I'm doing a night 1 and night 2, but I will not stay up till 2:30 a.m. on both nights. Second night I will, though. First night I'll probably catch following early in the morning. Stay away from the internet. Stay away from spoilers. I think I know what I'm doing on this. Okay, so we will have more details coming soon of how the Wrestle Kingdom reviews will work. But other than that, Mox's decision and whatnot, that did not happen tonight. We then went to, who is next right here? Wrote this down. Sami Guevara was still in the ring. I don't know why I don't pay a lot of attention to these commercial picture-in-picture things, but I guess he wants Victoria Justice's sister to call him. I did see that. Basically, Guevara went against Dustin Rhodes out there. Dustin, very over. One thing I will say that I don't know how many times I counted this throughout tonight, but I counted at least 5 or 6 of them. By God, does everybody do the fucking Canadian Destroyer every match they do? Like, by God. Canadian Destroyer. You don't win it with a Canadian Destroyer anymore. I will say that. I swear this was like the 5th one I saw tonight. Not here, but when we get to the main event, this was like the 5th one we saw tonight, in a way, of the Canadian Destroyer being used. Jake Hager was out there, pretty much to distract Dustin, as Dustin stared at him. He got distracted again. Guevara ended up, Hager hit a low blow on him. Guevara ended up hitting a roll-up for the win, so he beat Dustin Rhodes from there then. They then went to, I think it was Jen Decker interviewing SCU. That's what they were doing tonight. And I didn't mention this earlier, but, Guevara pretty much calling Christopher Daniels old, that you ain't got any wins around here. Pretty much telling him we'll see about that, which he did wipe his, I guess it was a spit from his thumb onto Guevara's phone, and, Guevara tried to use Decker's dress to wipe it off, but that wasn't going to go out well. But next after that, Private Party were in the back, which I haven't seen them in a while, if you ask me. Pretty much, they were going to... I don't know what they were doing. They were talking. I think they were talking to Jen Decker again until Hangman Page showed up in a bar. I don't know where they were at, but it was like a bar right there. They asked Hangman what he was doing. I was getting some whiskey out, and they said, we're kind of worried about you. It's like, worried about her. And he says, how about I whip both your asses and everything? He says, this party sucks, all right? And he had his drink with him, but he had his drink with him and whatnot, but I guess he said the party sucked because I guess Private Party didn't have like a good party going on. Next, MJF came out with Wardlow, pretty much talking about the stipulations he wanted to give Cody and everything for that match. He wants it at Revolution. He wants it in Chicago. Talking about the crowd, that these Cody Mark Boy wannabes are out here, and that, he talked about the stipulations of this match. Number 1, you can't touch me until the show. All right, that's gonna happen. Number 2, he has to be an opponent of his choosing, and of course he chose the War Dog Wardlow, which he wanted him to speak, but he says he's not gonna waste his time speaking in front of these people in Jacksonville and whatnot. Next thing he wants a steel cage match, a solid steel cage. So I guess it's gonna be a cage match at Revolution. I don't think, was that the third stipulation? Yeah, I think that was the third stipulation. But he said the third stipulation, though, he's going to whip Cody like a fucking dog with his belt 10 times, not 4, 5, 6 legs or whatever, but whip him 10 times with that leather belt right there, and remind him that he will never forget the name of MJF. So MJF staring directly in the camera, pretty much talking to Cody, making it known that these are the stipulations for Revolution. I guess this is a steel cage match, and you know he must beat Wardlow at a point in time before Revolution in the next month. So we'll see what comes from that. But a good promo from MJF out there, very enjoyable. Jungle Boy and the Jungle Express was in the back as they were talking about the year they had, and Jungle Boy talked about this match with Jericho from a couple weeks ago and whatnot, which now I heard about this. I don't know. So they restarted the records, right? So does that mean everybody goes back to zero, or like every year they're just gonna like restart the ranking system? Because dude, why are you resetting the ranking systems? That you haven't really had it that long, except since October, if you want to go from that. So or if you count the pay-per-views too. I don't know why they need to restart it. Just keep continuing with the records you got going on right now with the numbers, because it's only going to at least tell who is going against who, or who the number one contender is. So I don't know how this whole record ranking system they're working with this, but they want to restart back to zero now. So they want to start back fresh. I don't know why they're doing that, but I would just say continue the numbers as they are going. I wouldn't say restart the numbers, but I don't know. We'll see from this. But it's kind of odd that they just like everybody's got to go back to zero. Like, motherfucker, y'all ain't been in business that long. Why y'all need to restart back to zero for? But, they interviewed the Jungle Express. I don't know what Marco Stunt tried to do. I don't know. Was he trying to do something to Jen Decker? But Luchasaurus pulled him back and says they're going to have a great year. I didn't even know what Luchasaurus even said, to be honest. So he said something. Hangman Page is on commentary team then, which I did like the graph they put up for Hangman saying, has been drinking. Which he had a glass of whiskey in his hand. JR asked, like, why didn't you bring any for us? Basically, the main event was the Elite, Kenny and the Bucks versus Pac and the Lucha Brothers. Listen, this was a spot fest. That's all I can really say about this. Not a bad match. I usually enjoy, the Bucks and Kenny matches, but every time you see these three, it's going to be a spot fest, and including the Lucha Brothers and, Pac. Of course, the Super Kicks. Of course, the Canadian Destroyers, which I swear to God, they've killed that move at this point. But, yes, the Canadian Destroyers. Big spots throughout the entire match. Not bad or anything, but it's a spot fest. That's basically what I can say from it. This is a spot fest, and that's basically what that match was. Okay, a spot fest. So there you go. But still a fun main event though. Kenny and them got the win. One wing angel on Phoenix. They wanted Hangman to get in the ring, but Hangman didn't want to come in. So I guess Hangman's supposed to be turned on the Elite. I need to catch up with being the Elite, so I don't know what that whole story's going on there. So I will say this about this show. This is a better show what they had 2 weeks ago. I feel like they had to redeem themselves. Because after that bullshit ending they put on with the Dark Order, I feel like the Elite need to redeem themselves. I think a lot of people have been complaining online about the Elite taking too many L's from Kenny and the Bucks. So this was a much needed win for them when you look at it, because there's been many complaints in the many fast months of how the Bucks and Kenny are booked, which aren't they the ones booking the show themselves, if I'm not mistaken. Listen, I've said this before. Yes, they have to put people over. I understand that, because if they kept beating everybody will complain and said these guys are just they're booking themselves. They're pushing themselves. They're putting themselves over. That's basically what people say. And yes, they have to put new talent over, but I do agree. Do not take too many L's. It just kind of weakens their persona or something like that when you look at it. It makes them look weak, okay? Especially how people say about Kenny. Yes, Kenny was the shit in Japan. And it's like I've said this many times before. It's a different story. It's a tale of two Omegas. Omega in New Japan, Omega in AEW. It's basically two different types of Kenny Omegas. And I can see why many people had complaints about him during his run in AEW, okay? So this was a win, and I do believe a lot of people said that they either listen to the internet, whoever's been talking about this show in general, of how they've been, because yes, they have taken a lot of L's recently, pretty much most of the Elite themselves, but especially Kenny and the Bucks, they have taken many L's. So could this be a change in the horizon for this show? I don't know, okay? But I do believe they did redeem themselves. I thought this was a very good show. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of, important parts happening on there. Of course, we got a title match we had tonight. Of course, Mox's decision, which we have to wait till next week now. Cody versus Allin was good, but, I still don't know why to get Arn Anderson out there in a way. And, the ending will Hangman turn on them because they did have Cody out there. They all invited Hangman in the end, but they didn't come in there. MJF's promo, of course, calling out Cody, talking about the stipulations for this match of Revolution. Jericho pretty much extending the olive branch to Moxley, now wanting a partnership instead of just joining. We could be co-leaders and everything now, giving a lot of his stock to him, and Jericho giving his stock to Moxley and running the Inner Circle. So this wasn't a bad show. I usually like this venue they were at for back at Fight for the Fallen in Jacksonville. I enjoyed Taz on commentary just because I haven't really heard Taz on commentary. And I know they brought Taz in for some dark shows in the pre-show, but I would not be surprised one day if they hired Taz full-time on commentary. I would like to see that. So it was cool to see him on commentary tonight. So I think it was a better show, in my opinion. Are there some negative parts? Yes. Like I said, I did the Fatal 4-Way match was good. Whatnot. I did speak good about it, but at the same time, it's like they still got to work on the women's division. What else? I'm trying to see what else is really bad about this show. I really am. I don't give a crap what Janela's doing, so I'm just going to skip over that. I think I talked on the key points, what is going on this show tonight, so that's pretty much what I got to say about that. But, other than that, overall, like I said, I think this was a better show. They had to redeem themselves after that bullshit, segment they did a few weeks ago. But other than that, though, hopefully you've had a really great, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, whatever you want to call it or whatnot. Like I said, we still got a lot of reviews coming in the week. We will be back later this week, I guess, for SmackDown and Wrestle Kingdom. We will have that one way or another. It's going to be a little tougher to schedule doing that, but we will find a way to do that. But other than that, please check out any other past review that is online right now. Check out any of, like I said, my 2019 review of wrestling in general. There are links to other past videos throughout the year to what I've done, which I think that were great. What else? Like I said, just the AEW review tonight, no NXT review. So, yeah, I think I've covered everything we've had to cover. So, yes, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think about the show. Check out the past reviews. Follow me on Twitter. Hooded Knight 890, blah, blah, blah. Fuck Lifetime, etc., etc. So, yeah, I'm done with this review right here. We will see you later in the week. So, yes, this is my AEW review. I am out of here. Wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month, so get up, get up, get up. And I'm out. Peace.